Number 5. A Woman of Substance, 1984. Based on the book by Barbara Taylor Bradford, this classy three-part British miniseries follows the rags-to-riches life of redoubtable heroine Emma Hart, played as a young woman by Jenny Seagrove and as an older woman by Deborah Kerr. Emma rises from being a downtrodden Yorkshire housemaid to become the head of a global empire. As a young woman, she is left pregnant and alone when she is abandoned by the cad son of her employers, and tragedy robs her of her parents. Through hard grit and intelligence, she rises to become a powerful tycoon and gets her superb revenge on those who wronged her. By her side is her lifelong friend Blackie O'Neill, played by Liam Neeson, in a very rare example of a male-slash-female platonic relationship for this type of miniseries. Emma has numerous love affairs and husbands, but what interests her the most is building her empire and finding a suitable successor. She faces tragedies and triumphs, and is eventually challenged for control of her business by her own ungrateful children. A Woman of Substance offers both a fantasy and inspiration for any woman who has been treated badly and who craves success as the best revenge. The character of Emma Hart is also a timeless role model of hard work, discipline, and independence. Even the New York Times was charmed, declaring it soap opera, to be sure, but of good, hearty quality. In February 2025, it was announced that a remake of this classic miniseries was under development.
You're going, aren't you? Very soon.
Yes.
When?
Tomorrow.
Oh, my God. Oh, Paul, I can't bear it.
Yes, you can. Oh, yes, you can. Yes, you're brave. Yes. I don't want us to talk about me leaving anymore. I want us to think only of now, this night. Until this mess is over, that's all we've got.
Number 4. Return to Eden, 1983. This stylish three-part Australian miniseries is a memorable woman's revenge melodrama. Stephanie Harper, played by Rebecca Gilling, is a dowdy but wealthy mining heiress who marries a sleazy tennis player who is only interested in her money, played with relish by James Raine. He has an affair with her best friend, played by Wendy Hughes. Then he tries to kill her by feeding her to a crocodile on their honeymoon. Stephanie miraculously survives, undergoes plastic surgery, and develops a new identity as Tara Wells, top fashion model. As Tara, she sets about destroying the man who tried to kill her. This miniseries was beautifully filmed on location in Sydney, on the islands of the Great Barrier Reef, and in the Australian outback. Cinematographer Dean Semler later won an Academy Award for the 1990 film Dances with Wolves. It also had a magnificently dramatic score by Brian May, composer for the movie Mad Max. The improbable but absorbing storyline allows for some terrific 80s-era set pieces, from a crocodile hunt to a gloomy, gothic outback mansion, from luxury yachts on Sydney Harbor to glitzy high-fashion photography shoots and fashion parades. For all its campy melodrama, however, at the heart of this glamorous narrative is the all-too-relatable story of a shy, underappreciated ugly duckling who must literally reinvent herself to discover self-love and a sense of self-worth. Viewers connect with this struggle, just as much as they enjoy seeing Stephanie/Tara exacting her elaborate revenge.
I'd like to see Joanna Randall, please.
I'm sorry, she's busy at the moment.
I think Joanna would like to see you.
Thank you. Won't be a tick.
I need an agent. Someone who can get me on the cover of Vogue in 6 months.
Number 3. Sins, 1986. Joan Collins stars in this glossy miniseries as the determined and resilient heroine Mademoiselle Helene Junot. Accompanied by a large international cast and wrapped in a dazzling wardrobe, Collins captivated glitter-hungry 80s TV audiences with her old-fashioned, old Hollywood-style diva star power in this three-part love and revenge/high-fashion epic. The story is a scrumptious soap opera. Helene, played by Catherine Mary Stewart as a young woman, then later by Collins, survives wartime brutalities, rescues her long-lost brother, Timothy Dalton, hunts down an evil Nazi, Stephen Burkhoff, becomes a model in Paris, and eventually founds her own global Vogue-like fashion magazine empire. To get there, she must commit sins like being a kept woman for a depraved aristocrat. She is punished for these sins by having numerous lovers die, miscarrying a child, and her many enemies trying to destroy her company. Sins is a sudsy concoction that offers pure escapism and visual splendor. The wonderfully rambling narrative, the elegant cast, stunning locations in Paris, Venice, and the south of France, amazing haute couture costumes, and a hypnotically emotional, synth-laden score by Francis Lai, including a title song performed by Carly Simon, all make this a mesmerizing spectacle and ideal vehicle for its larger-than-life leading lady. It is a worthy successor to the types of women's films that Joan Crawford and Barbara Stanwyck used to star in, and is possibly the grandest televisual expression of mid-1980s glamorous excess.
Mademoiselle Juno, I'm an immensely wealthy man. Drop this vendetta. Go home. And you and your brother will be financially secure for the rest of your lives.
Of course. But not before you stand in that court. Make your confession and accept the punishment that you deserve.
These are my countrymen, you know. I don't think they will convict me.
Oh, I think that they will.
I should have disposed of you that day in Chartres.
How unfortunate for you that you didn't.
Number 2, The Thorn Birds, 1983. A timeless story of forbidden love, repression, religion, and intergenerational conflict. This is one of the most popular miniseries of all time. Based on the book by Colleen McCullough, the sprawling, four-part saga charts the love affair between Ralph de Bricourcet, an ambitious priest, played by Richard Chamberlain, and Maggie Cleary, a spirited woman from the Australian outback, played by Rachel Ward. The story starts in the 1920s with the arrival of ambitious young Ralph at a remote outback parish where he meets a wealthy widow, played by the luminous Barbara Stanwyck. She implies that, if he submits to her lustful advances, she might leave her fortune to the church, which would help him to climb the ecclesiastical ladder. He professes to love only God, but actually has eyes for her beautiful young niece, Maggie. Ralph and Maggie share a decades-long passion. However, whenever Ralph is forced to choose between love and ambition, he chooses ambition. Maggie, meanwhile, suffers all manner of tragedies, from a bad marriage, to the violent loss of family members, to a difficult relationship with her mother, played by Jean Simmons, and conflict with her own daughter, played by Mare Winningham. The Thorn Birds is a very handsome production with robust performances. The score by Henry Mancini is spellbinding, the costumes by Travilla are stunning, and the cinematography by Bill Butler is lush. The Thorn Birds is a hypnotic soap opera, but it also poses interesting questions about the nature of true love, devotion, and sacrifice.
You are the most beautiful man I have ever seen, Ralph de Bricourcet. But of course you already know that. Curious how you view us mortals with contempt for admiring that beauty. And yet, you would use it without compunction to get whatever you wanted, wouldn't you?
I thought it was my soul you were after, Mary.
It is. Because at my age, officially, I'm supposed to be beyond the drives of my body.
And the number 1 melodramatic miniseries of the 1980s is Lace, 1984. a magnificent two-part glitz fest that is the decisive expression of glamorous escapist television of the 80s. Lace has everything: a strong storyline, energetic performances, incredible European scenery, stylish cinematography, a soaring music score, and Phoebe Cates as Lily, the ferocious sex symbol with an indecipherable European accent. In the 1960s, one of three friends at a Swiss finishing school, played by Bess Armstrong, Brooke Adams, and Ariel Dombasle, becomes pregnant. They make a pact not to reveal which one it is, and with the help of one of the girls' aunt, played by Angela Lansbury, they place the baby girl with foster parents. None of the women gets around to claiming little Lily, who waits for her mother to come one day. The women are horrified when they are told that Lily was killed behind the Iron Curtain. But Lily did not die. She grows into a softcore porno star and actress who vows to track down her real mother and punish her for abandoning her. Lily eventually brings the three candidates together and makes her infamous demand.
Incidentally, which one of you bitches is my mother?
Under all this glamour and camp, however, are some solid dramatic themes. About the struggle for women to be independent in a man's world. About the difficulties presented by an unplanned pregnancy, and about the yearning for an absent maternal figure. These underlying themes give Lace its heart and its emotional impact. It is the ultimate mark of successful melodrama, excessive, heightened drama, underpinned by a resonant emotional truth. That is why Lace continues to connect with audiences more than 40 years later.
It can happen to anyone.
It usually does.
I wish it could happen to men. You're supposed to get a mad craving for food.
Then you've been preggers for years.
Stop saying preggers.
Sounds better than pregnant.
Anything sounds better than pregnant. It's not the end of the world.
No, it's got 7 months to go.
Supposing we do nothing.
What do you mean?
Our whole lives are ahead of us. Careers, husbands.
It's too soon for motherhood.
But what we're thinking about happens to be illegal.
It won't be long.
In another 10 years, abortions are going to be performed like appendectomies in proper hospitals by proper doctors.
Yes, but for the time being, they're performed by creepy little men in filthy little rooms.
True.
What right does society have to dictate what a woman does with her own body? Especially a society run by men.
Nobody's arguing.
It isn't fair to the mother. It isn't fair to the child.
So, what can we do about it?
Well, the first thing is not to panic.
Who's panicking?
We are.
Okay, we all relax.
Whatever we decide has to be unanimous.
Yes, and no one chickens out, ever.
Well, that was my top 10 list. I wonder what other miniseries you might have included or excluded from the list. My next video will be a retrospective essay on the fantastic 1985 miniseries Deceptions, so I hope you can join me. Thanks for watching.
Thank you.